Hi, Anemari. Welcome, and thank you for accepting my invitation to have this conversation.
Hi, Andra. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much for the invite.
My pleasure. Before I jump into the questions, can you share with us a bit about your experience?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in tech for more than 10 years now. I started as a software engineer, but I quickly moved into leadership because I realized very early in my career that I was way more motivated by the wins of the team, of like the group collective wins than individual gain. And so I became a tech lead at 26. I loved the role a lot. I loved it so much that I burned out in the role. And so I had to to quit after some time and take some time off. But that's how I actually got into helping and supporting other tech leads in this journey, as I know how overwhelming it is. And so for the past 4 years, I've been training and coaching tech leads in their transition into tech leadership, and dealing with the day-to-day challenges of the job. Been building resources. I'm currently writing an O'Reilly book for tech leads, building courses, and basically doing everything that I can in this direction to make sure others don't have to go to the pain that I went through.
To burn out while loving the job.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you. These questions are exactly for tech leads to support them at the beginning of the journey and to learn from your experience.
Mhm.
My first question is, what do you wish you have known before becoming a tech lead?
I think the first thing that I mean, there's a lot of things, but the first thing that comes to my mind is that I don't have to solve everyone's problems. I think in the beginning, it was one of the parts that I think contributed to my burnout, is that I thought I have to be there for everyone, hear everyone's problems, try to solve them. I was very like jumping in all of the time. So I think it's very important to keep in mind that to have in mind like your responsibilities, your role in the team, and have clear boundaries on what are things that are on your plate and what's also on them or on other people to solve. Also being aware there are more ways to help people than you being there. So you can point them to other people to get
Mm-hmm.
support, or you can give them resources. It doesn't mean you have to kind of jump in and take action on every single complaint or struggle people bring to you. So I think that's one of the main things that I would have liked to know when I starting out. Someone telling me, it's okay to let some things slide, and it's okay to not have everything figured out and be there for every single problem.
Got it. Do you have any advice for somebody just starting? Besides that one, I get it's an advice, so yeah.
Um, well, another advice, I think, in the same line of making sure that okay, what people expect from you. It's about having clear understanding on what are the expectations on your role. So not just what you think they are, but also verifying that continuously with managers, with stakeholders, with your team, and kind of making sure that whatever your understanding is and what you're putting in effort into, it's what they expect. Because at the end of the day, your success, it's defined by what and how people perceive your impact. And so it's very important that you constantly validate that whatever you're focusing on, it's
Mhm.
what people around you need.
Yeah, it's exactly how I work with people is uh, there are expectations and there are agreements. So
Mhm.
expectations, it's you just think it's everybody knows, but they actually don't. Yeah, so you need to communicate, you need to have those conversations. As you said, it's aligning them and make sure validate that what you think, especially as a tech lead, it's not a standardized role. Yeah, totally with you on that. So first step, everybody, yeah, go have a conversation with your manager about your responsibilities. Thank you for
And your
that.
team,
And your team, yeah, yeah, true. You need to align with both and
both
also
sides.
communicate back and forth. Okay, great. Thank you. Two more questions.
Mhm.
How did you balance hand-on coaching with leadership responsibilities? I think it's always this question. How do you balance those?
Um, how do you balance, like, well, I think it's about making like coming back to my previous point, I think it's again about reinforcing that you have to be constantly aware of the needs of your team. So that balance doesn't really exist, right? All we can do is going from more to one side or the other, because you have like the very technical side, or you have the very like leadership side, and you have to take care of everything. So that balance, it's really hard to get to, and it's very different for each individual. That's one thing that I've learned training so many tech leads, that that balance is different. So I think it all comes back to, at least for me, what helped me is to constantly keep in mind where my team is. So if my team was like, for example, having a very tough deadline, I would just jump in and be very focused on coding alongside them. But if they had like a very, I don't know, we had a period where they had like performance review, where they had to create growth plans. I was way more involved in helping them navigate that and making sure they're set up for the next year. So I think it's that the balance comes from constantly making sure you are fulfilling the expectation and the needs of your team, and they are taken care of, and that's how basically also you're gonna make sure you are on the safe side. But also keep in mind what you need, kind of, right? Like I said, that balance is different for everyone, and we have the tendency. I've noticed that each and one of us has a tendency to go more into on one side or the other based on personal preference. So one trick that I found is that if you have a tendency, for example, to stay very much on the technical side, then your efforts should go towards going on the other side, right? So constantly putting thought into, okay, what can I do to be more involved on the people side? What can I do to support more people? The same as if you're in the other side. So constantly being aware of what your preference is and what your team needs, I think it's what creates that balance.
Mm-hmm. I got it. What I hear is mostly flexibility based on the needs. Yeah.
Exactly.
One project or one team might need you 80%, and then you can code and the other way around. Yeah, it's interesting also what you said with the preference. Yeah, like watch out for that part, because you might think that the role is about that, but maybe you are needed more on the other side. Mhm.
Or you might want that the role is about that, which I very
Yeah,
often
that's the
find.
difference. You might want, but the need is different. Yeah,
Exactly.
true. It's not always about what we want. It's to balance that, even though there isn't a balance. Yeah, your needs are
To try
important.
the balance is the aim, right?
Yeah. Well, it never happens. Like with the weight, it's never constant. Yeah. And we were just discussing about that. It's also what you need. So how did you use to protect your time as a tech lead? Like you need to do your own stuff. You also need to be available. Did you have any way in which you protected your time, or having that focus time, or maybe something that you discovered now with your clients?
Yeah, I mean, after I burned out and I went into other leadership role, I definitely learned some strategies, because this is the key of making sure you keep yourself well. Setting clear expectations with people in regards to also what you need, when you are available, what you are available for. Not setting clear expectation, having clear boundaries, and making them visible constantly. So what do I mean by that? It's as simple as like making visible in your calendar that you have focus time, or that you're taking care of whatever or that you have times for one-on-ones, or like kind of, I think that's the first thing, constantly making it easy for people to see where your attention goes or what you're available for, and creating space for you, not just for them. I think that's important, because at the end of the day, if you're not well, you cannot really help anyone. I think that's the key learning here. Second, it's about constantly reflecting on the things that you are focusing on, and what type of impact they have on you. And if you identify something that you can do better, go and communicate that with your team. For example, I don't know, it can be as simple as, look, I would really love if our one-on-ones would happen in the morning, because I have more availability, or you want them in on one day. I know tech leads prefer different ways of doing it, but if you find something that really works for you, just make that visible for your team instead of just assuming they know, which happens very often. So yeah, constantly make visible your needs, and the same as you're listening to your team needs. help them also understand your needs and find that common ground. In my experience, makes things way easier than you assuming and them assuming, or you thinking they know. As straightforward as you are about the needs and the boundaries that you have, the easiest is for you, as you said before, to find that agreement, right? Not just expectations, but agreement on where you are. And I think it makes things easier for you and for them to kind of make sure you're on the safe side.
Yeah, totally agree. The most important thing is to communicate your boundary if you create it. I know situations when they say, oh, but they don't respect my lunch break. Yeah. And I'm like, well, what can you do about it? Did you communicate that you are in your lunch break? Do you respect your lunch break? Yeah. Do you have it in your calendar? Yeah. So we are on the
Most of
same
the
page.
time, the answer is no, right?
Yeah. No, but they should know it's that time when I
They
usually,
don't.
yeah, but if you are available all the time, you need to train them differently. They need to learn that you are not available anymore in that time. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Totally aligned with what you said. Those were my questions. So thank you so much for your contribution. And yeah, have a great day.
Very happy to help. Thank you so much, Andra. You have a great day too.
Bye.
Bye bye.